Hey, my name is Roger. In this video, I cover how to start meditating. This also kind of works for people who want a few tips on how to make their meditation practice more of a daily thing, more of a constant thing. If you're struggling kind of getting a daily habit going, a daily structure, then this video is going to help you. In this video, I cover the importance of journaling when it comes to meditation, a few different ways to meditate for beginners and intermediate people in their practice. I cover posture, I cover good ways to breathe when it comes to meditation, and also a couple of great tips that I've found that have helped me with my concentration to kind of stop your mind wandering when it comes to thoughts, and ways to become more detached when it comes to feelings. So, hope you enjoy the video. Cheers. I started meditating when I was 16 years old. I'm 24 now, so I've been doing it for 8 years on and off. And in the past 2 years, I've started to incorporate some of the tips that I'll share with you today that have actually helped me to do it constantly every day. Now, there are different types of meditation that you may or may not have heard about. The first type of meditation that I became aware of was meditation where you focus on breath. This is probably the most simple type of meditation, where you're focusing on your in-breath and you're focusing on your out-breath. Generally, you breathe in through your nose and you breathe out through your mouth. Another type of meditation is mantra meditation, and this is the main type of meditation that's practiced in transcendental meditation, or TM. The other two types of meditation that I am familiar with are awareness meditation, where you're aware of either what is going on inside your body, you sit with your eyes closed and you become aware of the bodily sensations that you're experiencing, including your breath, how your muscles feel, generally your inner goings on. Or you can be aware of what is going on in the room around you, as well as or opposed to what's going on inside of you. So you're listening for sounds. Generally you're keeping your eyes closed, but you're listening for sounds, you're feeling the air in the room, the temperature, the way the air is feeling on your arms and legs, the way your clothes feel on your body. And the other type of meditation that I actually began with was guided meditation, which is a great way to begin if you are completely new to meditation. There's a lot of videos on YouTube that you can find that are sort of 5 or 10 minute meditations where you can plug your headphones in and you can begin with somebody telling you how to do it. I think of this as like riding a bike with the training wheels on. So you've got something to kind of keep you going, otherwise your concentration can slip. I found in the early days of meditating that if I was just focusing on the breath or the room awareness, that one of the early pitfalls of meditation is that you become engrossed in your thoughts. You become completely distracted. So having a guided meditation to start you off is a really good idea. So why do we meditate? Some of the benefits, which I'm sure a lot of people have actually read about, it's like turning down the volume on thoughts, basically. You can become more objective about your thoughts and feelings, which is a huge help for people who have anxiety, or people who are worrisome, or people who experience depression. Myself, I experience anxiety, and my meditation practice has really helped me to sort of step back from my thoughts, turn the volume down a little bit on them, and gain some perspective there. It also allows you to concentrate more. It allows you to kind of see the world more vividly without the haze of thoughts that come up in front of your face all the time and distract you from everyday life. One of the key selling points of meditation for me, aside from taking away from the distraction of anxiety, is also that you get these occasional bursts of real joy and life energy, and I feel like meditation can really open you up to a lot more of what is all around you. It puts you more in touch with the people around you, it improves your relationships, and it allows you to kind of experience joy on a more unfettered and unfiltered level. So regardless of the type of meditation you're actually going to want to do, you're going to want to either sit or lay and focus on your breath primarily. To begin meditating, you're going to want to find a place where you can sit down or lay down in relative peace and quiet. It can really be anywhere, there's no special place to do it. Myself, I sit on a pile of blocks, or well, actually I sit on a pile of books. I sit on 2 books to allow me to actually straighten up, and what you want to do is have it so that you're sitting with a straight line going from your sit bone at the bottom of your spine all the way up to the crown of your head. The point of this isn't just to have some rigid regime where you're always sat the same in an uncomfortable way. You want to be sat comfortably, but the point of sitting with your spine straight is that it decreases your level of tiredness. It's proven that if you can sit in a straight line, you become a lot less tired and you don't kind of like flag during your meditation, which creates more focus and more concentration. Next, you want to sit with your eyes either closed, half closed, or just kind of with a fuzzy gaze of the room. You don't want to focus on any one particular physical object in the room with your eyes. Next, you want to start breathing. It's important to breathe through your nose, in through your nose, and out through your mouth. Although you shouldn't get too hung up on this. In the early days of meditation, I was really hung up on, oh man, I'm breathing through my mouth, I'm breathing out of my nose, or vice versa, or whatever it was. But the important thing is that you're focused on your breath. And I always start my meditation, no matter what it is, with 3 or 5 deep breaths to really ground me, to really make me aware of my body, to kind of tie my mind with my body. That's really one of the key goals in meditation. So for any type of meditation, you want to set a timer. You want your goal of meditation to really kind of be time bound. You don't want to just sit there until it feels like you're done. You want to kind of have a set time that you can set on your phone or a timer, and you can just sit there for that 5 or 10 minutes. Now, in the beginning, when I was about 16 years old, I used to start my meditations at about sort of 3 minutes a day. That's all I did, 3 minutes every day. And you may think, oh, that doesn't seem like so much, but when you're just beginning, 3 minutes of sitting and being with your thoughts and your breath can seem like an eternity. So you want to kind of start small and aim big. My personal goal for meditation is to sit for 20 minutes every day. At the moment I'm at 15, but it's something I'm working towards. So you've set your timer, and you set it for whatever it is, 3, 5, 10, 15 or 20 minutes, whatever you're going to do. You get to choose whatever sort of time you want, and you're going to set your timer and sit with your breath, or you'll sit with your mantra. Now, a good mantra to start with meditation is the mantra So Hum, which is spelled S-O space H-A-M. And what this means in Sanskrit is I am that. And the that refers to I am that which sees. In meditation, something you'll come across a lot if you do reading on it or anything like that, is you want to kind of come back to and inhabit the space in your brain that is merely the observer. This is the point of the brain, which really allows you to kind of detach from your emotions, detach from your thoughts more, and see the world, your inner world and your outer world, through a more sort of objective and non-attached lens. So you can repeat Soham throughout your meditation. A way I like to do this is to, instead of just repeating over and over again, which can become sort of hypnotic and monotonous, and you can kind of be repeating the mantra and still be kind of lost in all your thoughts. So something I like to do is I'm sat upright and I've got my mantra going, but what I'm doing, instead of just repeating it over and over again with my eyes closed, I'll repeat it out loud once. So I'll lean forward and say Soham, and I'll lean backwards and repeat the same phrase but inside Soham, but in my mind. And then I'll go forward again and repeat Soham. And it seems a little strange to do it this way, but the reason being is that it kind of creates a volley. I think of it almost like a tennis volley. Like you're creating this kind of back and forth movement where you've got this kind of this good flow going. You're creating this kind of back and forth movement which allows you to kind of keep focusing and concentrating. Another way to practice with a mantra or your breath is to have something you can count with. Now, myself, I use the book that I use for my meditation, and I count the spines on the edge of the book. So I'm like Soham, 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 and so forth. You can also use beads on a meditation or prayer necklace, or you can use anything that you can count, basically. Something that you can sit with your eyes closed and just not become too attached to, but just focus on what you're counting along, basically. Now, a big part of my meditation practice is, and the part that's really gotten me to make this a daily habit, to make it so I do it every day at the same period, and every single day at the same time, is I keep a journal of my meditation. And what I write in this journal is really simple. I write, I'm not sure if you can see this, but hold up to the camera, but I write the date, and then I write the time that I'm meditating for, and then I write my objective for today's meditation session. So I've got it so it's like today is the 12th of January 2017, so I write that down, and then I write down the amount of time that I want to meditate for today. So at the moment I'm working on 15 minutes, so I write down 15 minutes, but I don't just do that and start the timer. What I found is that it actually helps to provide some structure to the meditation. So I'll write down my objectives. So first of all, I will ask myself and the meditation practice for what I would like to get from it. And this might sound a bit sort of airy-fairy and weird, and it's not a, it seems a little religious or theological, but it's really not that way. All this does is help you to start your meditation session intentionally, instead of just kind of going in hoping that it'll be a good one. And I got this tip from Sally Kempton's book, Meditation for the Love of It. You start your meditation by asking yourself basically for what you want from the session. You say, for example, I'd like to be focused in this session, I'd like my body to relax more, I'd like to have a good concentration on the breath, and you just kind of like list what you want from that session. You want to focus on your breath, you want to focus on your body, you want to focus on the room around you, whatever it is, you're focusing on that thing, and you start with intention. That's important. So like a typical list of objectives for me for a meditation session would be, I'll start off by asking, and then I'll write down 3 times deep breath, or 5 times deep breath, sometimes 10. And then I will write down either mantra soham with repetition, or I will write down focus on breath. And a great way to focus on your breath here is to do a technique that I found through the Daily Zen website. So the idea is to just count from 1 to 10, and the way you do this is you breathe in, and that's 1, you breathe out, and that's 2, you breathe in, and that's 3, you breathe out, and that's 4. You do this through to 10, so you go in 1, out 2, in 3, out 4, all the way up to 10, and then you begin again. So instead of just going through your breath practice, going in, out, in, out, in, out, which can be good, you're going 1 to 10, so it gives you kind of a ladder to climb and a ladder to come back down again. And it creates the kind of structure that will allow you to remain focused and concentrated throughout your meditation. And in the same way that you started your list of objectives with asking for what you want from your meditation practice, it's a good idea to reflect and give thanks for what you received from your meditation practice as well. It's worth mentioning that I'm not a religious person. I'm agnostic. I don't believe in God in any religious way. But I think it's a good idea to practice gratitude. Even if you don't believe in anything sort of higher than yourself, practicing gratitude and thanks can put you in a better place, and this is particularly important when you're practicing meditation. So it's a good idea to say thanks for what you have gotten from your session. And also, instead of just turning off your timer when it rings, it's a great idea to actually write down what you have experienced. And while you still get your eyes closed before you write down what you've experienced, you can stay with what you're actually experiencing with your eyes closed. You may have gotten to a point where you've actually experienced some calm, your muscles may have loosened a little bit. And it's a good idea to take like a mental snapshot of what you've actually experienced this session, so that you can kind of start on the right foot when you meditate tomorrow. Okay? So you're writing down your asking for what you want from the meditation session, your objectives for the session, your thanks. You write down how the session's gone, and then to start the next time you meditate, tomorrow or later that day, intentionally, you'll write the date or the time of when you want to meditate next, so that you come to your meditation journal next time. And it should be a book that you have by your bedside table or whatever that you can come back to that's specifically designated for meditation, and you'll come back to it and you'll see, okay, right, so tomorrow the 13th, I'm going to be meditating for 15 minutes, and I'm going to start with the same type of practice that I had yesterday, and you'll go, okay, well the mantra worked yesterday, but my breath wasn't so good. Or you'll say like, at the end my muscles were still tight, but my mind was a bit more clear of thoughts. I think everyone who meditates will probably tell you that thoughts are an ongoing struggle with meditation, and it's a good idea to not fight them, but just let them be there and let them kind of pass by. So yeah, you'll kind of have this ongoing practice of meditation, and the good thing about having a journal will A, remind you of your meditation practice and your commitment to do it every day, and B, allow you to see what's worked and what hasn't worked. Instead of kind of going along like I used to a few years ago, sitting every day and going, okay, I'm going to do this every day, but there's no kind of infrastructure to allow you to continue in the way that you'd like, and there's no feedback that you leave yourself to go, okay, actually mantras are working at the moment, or okay, my breath practice is becoming unfocused because there's nothing to allow structure, you see. I want to end by giving you a couple of books to maybe help you along with your meditation practice. Two books that I found really, really helpful. The first one is Meditation for the Love of It by Kempton. And I found this book about 2 to 3 years ago when I was quite far into my meditation practice, but it's great for beginners and people who've been doing it for the majority of their lives. So this book kind of, it allows you to kind of get some new practice tips. It gives you new mantras, it gives you meditation session practices, things you wouldn't have thought of without reading the book, basically. The second book is less about meditation and more about mindfulness in general, and it's really good for kind of integrating your meditation practice and what you've learned into everyday life. So this book is called You Are Here by Thich Nhat, who is a Buddhist monk who lives now, I believe, in France, in a place called Plum Village. And his writing is really readable. It's a really short book. You could read it in a day if you wanted to. This book provides a lot of insight into mindfulness, relationship, and with yourself and with those around you, and just to kind of an ethos for living in a more mindful and peaceful way. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and please leave me any comments of questions of ways to meditate or anything I may have missed out, and I'll get back to you with a response. Thank you for watching. Bye!